thank you for taking time out from your busy schedule to come out this evening. Thank you, Minister Jackson. I'm kind of trying to, but today's meeting is going to focus on a seed that was planted in 1999 by business leaders, residents, community leaders, some politicians, educators, and other shareholders. These people saw a need to make a difference in West Tampa. The West Tampa CDC because I do really thank you for coming out, but I will mention them at this time. We have Ruth McNair, who was from the West Riverfront Association. Pilar, Mrs. Pilar Kahala from Northeast McFarland, Robert Allen from North Hyde Park, and Rick Caldavello, who is the president of the West Tampa Chamber of Commerce. And you are going to hear from them a little later. Today's event will focus on our vision and mission. I cannot think of a better person to explain that approach than a person who leads our economic development initiative. Many of you have seen Michael around. Many of you have worked with him, and you really have not heard that much about Michael. And I'd like to share some things this evening about Michael. Michael has worked for more than 20 years in community development. He has served on several national committees, including the West Baltimore Federal Empowerment Zone. He has worked with the Sandtown Transformation Initiative, the Safe and Sound Initiative, the Job Plus Federal Employment Initiative, the West Side Empowerment Career Center, the Johns Hopkins School of Social Policy Urban Crisis. He has served on the White House panel on lessons learned in community development. He's also served with the Enterprise Foundation National Conference, also on lessons learned in urban development.
That diamond. You get that as soon as you clean it off, shine it up, that piece of coal becomes that diamond. When the CDC came in, it was like God sent, because that helped us further the next step of what we needed to do. We worked with the city, which was great, but to have something that was centralized to West Tampa, that helped West Tampa only, was the best thing to come around. One of the projects that we did with the CDC was the overlay. It was something that someone that we've heard said that was impossible for us to do to get done, but it's been done. January of last year, the overlay was added to Chapter 27 of the city ordinances. The overlay now is a growing, continuing document. It's always going to change. We had to start out with a foundation because a lot of things were happening in West Tampa that we basically wanted to have control of. The people in this community wanted to be respected, and they wanted to make sure that by using the laws of the city, that the people who come in the community respect it, unfortunately, but that's what we had to do. We hope that if you would like to get involved in our neighborhood association, I'll be here in the meeting, and I can talk to you about some of the other further things that we have done. We have...
My name is Janice Dula, and I'm a native of West Tampa. First, I want to thank God for allowing me to be a part of the West Tampa CDC and changing the future of my community. Second, I want to thank Dr. Fisher and Michael Randolph for having faith in me. And I also want to thank the board members for granting me this opportunity. Before coming to the CDC, I had no experience in working in a professional setting. Since being with the CDC, I have learned new job skills, such as typing, greeting the public, data entry, scanners, and the Microsoft family. I have attended various meetings, and I have met all type of important people like the Mayor Pam IR, Councilwoman Miller, Councilwoman Everest, and Councilman White. I know the road is going to be long for me, but I'm like a sponge. I want to soak up everything about this corporation so I can continue to help my community. Thank you, and God bless you.
Been lucky to have my welfare. She now has her own business and is going through her 4th or 5th feature film. That's the kind of story we want to create here. And when we talked to Michael, and one of the statistics that Michael told us is, I did some research and I found out that 30% of the people in the West Tampa area are already involved in a creative enterprise. Now, whether that means art, singing, dancing, or whatever creative they're already here. They're in that kind of industry. So he turns to me and he says, so if you can create the jobs, I got the people. And that's what we want to try to do.
Unions, and we're very excited about this team. We're focused currently on building residential homes in the heart of West Tampa, and we're very excited about this effort, and I'm very pleased to be here to share it with you. Our approach, and I have to look at my cue over here because I'm not our approach is investment must be focused to be successful. That we must put homeowners in the neighborhoods, that we have a housing product that is consistent with the legacy of West Tampa and the housing, historic housing there, and that our financial commitment is substantial and aggressive. And so to the very first point, I can show you that we are focused in an 8-block area. It is from Armenia Avenue to Fremont and from Pine Street down to Union. It's 8 blocks, and we have thought many times.
Frankly, it's entrepreneurship. What makes projects like yours work is cash. And what generates cash are people who are motivated by being a business owner. In other words, build your own dreams versus build somebody else's dreams. See, you're a business owner. Profits are better than wages. Now, after your meeting here tonight, I'm going to hang around. Those of you who would like to hear a short presentation, about a 15-minute, we're going to have a meeting after the meeting. But the whole thing is designed to put people in business themselves at a price they can afford, and at the same time, a piece of those profits helping the CDC. It's a fantastic concept we put together. I'd love to share it with you.
Thank you, sir. We're literally talking the CDC will be able to bring in tens of thousands of dollars. That's a part of this deal right here. Again, it's all about the private sector coming to the nonprofit sector, and we're thinking like a business for the community. Social development. In terms of social development, we're looking at essentially 5 things: community, building, health, the environment, public safety, and youth. Talking about youth. We have a person that's going to be partnering with the CDC that's done a lot of national things as it relates to youth. Ms. Siegel, would you come up, please, and give your brief presentation, because everybody's looking at me like, how long?
Very quick. My name is This project is what I would consider the finest model of public-private partnerships. What we have prepared here is a listing of what we offer the West Tampa community as credit union housing partners, but it's also what we will offer all of the residents of West Tampa as well as East Tampa. The 2 credit unions have received from the National Credit Union Association Underserved Community Charter, and that Underserved Community Charter allows the credit unions to provide open membership to folks who are living in West Tampa, who work in West Tampa, as well as worship in West Tampa.
I'm Vice President of Community Development for Regions Bank here. And I told Michael he could get a New York minute, so I'm going to just describe a couple of the programs that we have at Regions Bank and a couple of the other affiliate programs that we are members of. We do have construction acquisition, rehab loans. They can also be for programs for microloans for the small businesses that are around here as well. And the pre-development fund, the maximum is $100,000. It's for nonprofits only. We also partner with lending consortia in the area, for the state actually. One of those is the Florida Community Loan Fund, and that again is for nonprofit developers. We are partners with Neighborhood Lending, which is based here in Tampa, and they do loans for commercial as well as multifamily projects. That's for non-for-profits and for-profits. And we're also members of LISC, and you'll hear about LISC a little bit later when Diana Kyle comes up. One other thing that we can tap into as a funding source is some grant opportunities. I know you do a lot of that, Michael. We can work with you to look at some facade improvements, especially now with the Main Street initiative that you have. So that kind of gives you a New York minute of the programs that we offer at Regions Bank. I put some of my information on one of the tables, and my contact information is there as well. Thank you.
It is about the possibilities and about bringing resources to the table in order to make it happen, in order to be sustainable. One of the ways that we're doing this is the traditional way in terms of grants. And we will always pursue grants. The other thing we're doing is a fee for service. As we become better at doing our business classes for those that are coming from out the community, we'll be charging a fee to those individuals in order to sustain what we do. The other thing we do is act as a developer and get development fees. Ray Horner from our office is going to talk about our housing project that's coming up, and we get 10% for each house that we build. The other thing is a consultant fee. We position ourselves to be a consultant to work with the nonprofit sector in order to generate some type of funds. You're going to be hearing about some of those things we're doing with the
do with your community. I can assure you the Senator shares your goal for creating a strong and healthy community here. I have to caution you that there are limited federal resources available, and there is a lot of competition for those resources from other communities in Florida and states across the nation. But this is region that the Senator is very proud to represent and looks forward to working with you on it. Just from what I've seen here tonight, I can tell you that you do have some things going for you which will make this project much easier to sell to federal agencies and federal lawmakers. The fact that it was developed with input from the local residents in the community is vital, and that they buy in on it and that they're excited about it. The fact that it's a private-public partnership, not reliant exclusively upon government dollars, will help make this a viable plan in selling it to federal agencies. Assuming it has the support of the local elected officials, your city, county, and state representatives. I've not yet heard from them, so I would need feedback from them on it, of course. But those are all selling points that will make this project easier for the Senator to sell on the Hill, and I look forward to working with you as his representative on this and other projects in the future. Thank you.
Our next speaker is John Kynes, representing our U.S. Congress.
Congressman Davis will work closely with the other local representatives here from both the city government and the state government, and yourself and Senator Nelson in trying to help the community achieve its goals. Michael, I want to congratulate you and everyone involved in putting this together, and I look forward to getting a copy of it as soon as you can get us one. This really is about empowering local residents. And this community, as much as any other community in our city, has been very, very patient. And I truly hope that this comes to fruition and that everyone will, both in the public and private sector, will achieve its goals. And certainly you can depend on our office to be with you and work with you, whether it's to try to get CDBG funds or work with other nonprofits, LISC, and the city certainly on its various goals, we will be there. And I look forward to working with you all. Thank you for inviting our office here tonight. Thank you.
Our next speaker is State Senator Les Miller. I must say this about our senator. He donated the first $1,000 to our city.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Senator Miller. I didn't have $1,000, so I gave them to John.
Thing has been said about what's happening here in West Tampa and with the CDC here in West Tampa. And one of the things I heard Senator Martinez's office said, where they have support of the local elected officials, I guarantee you that they will have the support of local elected officials, whether city, county, or state, both House and Senate. And you're going to hear probably from Representative Enriquez. This community has been a black community. I said blight, not black, blight community for many years. And to have an organization that comes in now and get started on some state funds that have now taken a nonprofit status and starting to work with a profit status and doing the things that it's doing is to be congratulated. But it still has a long way to go. And I think Mr. Randolph pointed out some figures to you of how people are living in this community that are still living below the poverty level and there's still unemployment in this area. And they're trying their very best to educate people. They're trying their very best to give people the opportunity to have jobs and or create their own businesses. That's vitally important. So as long as I'm sitting in the position I'm in now, or whether I go to something else in the very near future, I will be here working with this organization because it's vitally important not only to West Tampa, but to the city of Tampa and also to Hillsborough County and the state of Florida, because everyone wants to live in a home, have a picket fence around that home, and something fresh and refrigerated when they get home. And that's vitally important to them. So congratulations on what you're doing. My office will always be there for you. We'll never, ever give up. Sometimes there might be bumps.
Very good. I want to, again, congratulate you on this remarkable effort. Some 80 years ago, my great-grandfather, who was the last mayor of West Tampa, turned over West Tampa back to the city of Tampa. And when that took place, he made very ball coach once upon a time that told me that a blaze starts with a spark. And this is the spark that I believe will revitalize West Tampa. And that's a key term, revitalization, because it's happening from within. So most often, we talk about redevelopment within neighborhoods, but at that point, an area is so blighted that someone goes back in and compiles all the land and they make it into something else completely different. And that's what's happened in some other communities within our own area. But this is real, true revitalization from within, using those folks that have toiled here for many years, that they'll be part of this vision. And I want to again thank you for this opportunity and thank you for your support over the years. It's as though we've watched this baby that was born in your office continue to grow. And I look forward to many, many more years of seeing this vision come to fruition. Thank you so much.
Our next speaker, representing our very fine mayor, is Ms.
And first, let me say that I'm very proud to be working for Mayor Iorio and to be having the honor of representing her today. I think that one thing that is her theme is that she listens to the people, she listens to the neighborhoods. I've worked in a number of local and also at the federal level up north and here now in Tampa, and I think what you often hear is that government knows what's best for you. We don't believe in that. We believe that what the citizens and what the neighborhood associations, and especially now working with the CDC, you need to tell us what services we can provide. Now, speaking for myself and for my departments, I think, Dr. Fisher, you already know, if I can be the conduit of information, that is my goal. If I can bring the folks together at City Hall, because we're terrible at talking to each other within City Hall. You know how hard it is for you to all find each other. Sometimes we have the same problem, too. So my mission is to make sure that we get the right people at the table, whether it's my department or another department. And let me also mention one other thing. We've talked a lot about bringing new business in.
Is going to be a good thing. That it's been so long in coming, because West Tampa has been neglected for so many years, like Representative Henriquez said, but it stopped, and now we have the ear of the mayor. And Cindy, you know that I will be at your side, and you know that I will be talking to you. All you got to do, Michael, is call me and let me know, just like you did the last time. We got those permits going, and so all you got to do is call, and that goes for anybody in this area, because my district, my office is always open. My phone number is 274-7074. We've got Desiree on the line all the time. She's constantly working for the West Tampa area, as well as my other areas of this. But West Tampa is the heart. It's my heart. And we want to make sure that this heart keeps beating. Thank you so much.
All the energy and the dynamics and the possibilities. And all of those are here tonight. The reality of what people were talking about and what the CDC was embarking on is happening now. And what you've got here is the three ingredients that make a community successful. You have a plan, you have partners, and you have leadership. You've got it all going for you. I'm very proud and privileged to be able to be a partner here with the University of South Florida and working in the community to the Jim Walter Partnership Center. We believe in being out in the community, engaging the community, and asking the community, how can the university help? It comes from a community-based perspective. So far, that commitment is so strong that I was able to work with the university and our university office, our engagement community office is here in West Tampa, next to the West Tampa CDC. We've also brought in our partners from FAMU and the Schimberg Center for Affordable Housing. So we're bringing in partners into this community to help all of us make West Tampa a better community for all of us.
She's in trouble now. LISC is a national nonprofit, and what our job is to provide best practices for the neighborhoods. We will be bringing in some new concepts for the community, and we hope that you will listen to Dr. Fisher and to Michael with very open minds, because in order for your community to survive, you're going to have to do some very creative things. For instance, your community might have to start owning homes, and when you can let someone live in that home permanently, but they would own it so that someone else who needed an affordable home could buy it in the future. That's going on across the United States. It's called the community trust, where the community owns those homes instead of flipping those homes and having the entire community gentrify.